welcome back. So today we have Seosie on the show. Hi, Seosie.
Hello.
And Johnny's here.
Hey.
Yeah. So we're talking about Slanted today, which is a film that's taken the nation by storm. It's about race relations along the lines of what's another film? Hey, Johnny, have you ever seen a film called Boulevard Nights?
I don't think so.
It's like I was curious and I Googled like Latino gangster movies because I was like, what other ones are there other than Blood In, Blood Out and American Me? And there's this one that predates both of them that came out in '79 called Boulevard Nights. That's
okay.
That's it came out the same year as The Warriors, I guess, and I guess a couple other gang movies. But it's specifically about like East LA Mexicans, and it's pretty fucking cool. It's very simple, but it's like it's the boulevard they're talking about is Whittier Boulevard, the one where all those Latinos like drive their big crazy cars, you know.
Okay.
And apparently, the movie was so like instrumental in popularizing the cruising culture that they actually had to make it illegal for a little while because like there were just too many Latinos driving their cars. Anyways, sorry, that's a little bit of an aside. So we're talking about Slanted today. Seosie, would you like to tell us why you recommended this movie? Let me be clear. You didn't like suggest that we talk about the movie. You just kind of shared me a clip and you were like, look how retarded this is. And then I'm the one who said, oh shit, we should talk about this. And then you said, I'd even come back on the pod to talk about it. So here we are.
I guess so. Yeah, I only come on the pod when I like have a very strong negative reaction to a movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. When I saw the trailer, I kind of knew I was gonna hate it.
Yeah.
So I was looking forward to watching it kind of for that reason. I just had a lot of curiosity as to like whether this is actually going to be as silly as it looks, or am I going to be surprised?
I was really looking forward.
Surprised.
I was really looking forward to it totally winning me over and just being like, this is amazing.
Yeah. Me too. I like being proven wrong.
Sure.
It's fun.
Should we say what the movie is? Like, should we describe like just the premise of the movie?
Okay, so 2025, I mean, right off the bat, there's confusion because like, you know, body horror, comedy, teen drama, like a sort of teen melodrama. Like, what the fuck is this movie? Because I mean, it's being billed as a body horror. On Wikipedia, they're calling it a body horror - comedy. And I'm like, I'm not sure if it's funny enough to be like, I'm not sure if it's intentionally funny enough to be a comedy. I think that that's sort of a Monday morning quarterback sort of move where it's kind of like, oh, let's say that we were trying to be funny, you know. But
well, I mean, there are jokes. You can tell like there's attempts at jokes, like even when they're driving down the street and you're seeing all the stores in the town. There's like the prayers and ammo store. Like it's all these sort of very, I don't even know. Like it's kind of like this very sort of left wing satire of like a American small town situation.
I mean, that's what's funny is that I don't even think that the director, Amy Wong, and sorry to be presumptuous, Amy, but like, I don't even think that she saw that as like jokes. I think she saw that as like pointed commentary. You know, like when in the very first scene where she's a little girl and she's driving down the street with her father, there's like, they see like a Starbucks. It's like branded as a Starbucks, like the green and white. And it says like Freedom Beans or Freedom Coffee or whatever. And then they go back past the thing that's branded as like a Carl's Jr. ad. And it's like Stripes Jr. And it's like, or Stripes Juniors. And it's like, you know, I actually just put it on at like double speed before, like as I was getting ready this morning, just to kind of refamiliarize myself a little bit.
Do that too,
but yeah, like that kind of stuff I think is not really I mean, I wouldn't call the inclusion of that enough to make it a comedy film. I guess is all I'm trying to say.
No, I mean, I'm not saying it makes it a comedy film. I'm just saying that there seems to be these attempts at comedy, and even sort of things like, all the cool kids sitting around the lunch table eating their salads and shaking their salad boxes, or when the white plastic surgeon doctor says something like, "Oh, why don't you just chill out and listen to some Michael Bublé?" Like there's little, I mean, most of the jokes are primarily based around this of her idea of what white culture is supposed to be.
I think it's going to be, I think there's going to be people who are going to find, like, they're going to laugh just because they're making fun of something that they don't like. Like, they're making fun of white people, they're making fun of America. They're going to find it funny, or they're going to laugh, even if the joke itself is not funny at all.
Sure.
I mean, yeah, like the world that this is in, unlike, say, that, this movie is often compared to The Substance, because it is basically The Substance. The Substance, the tone is fairly serious.
Mm-hmm.
She's living in it's just like you don't get the sense of like these sort of like these little Mad Magazine stores that are on the street, or like nobody's taking these little jabs at, I mean, I don't know. Now that I'm thinking of it, like there is some comedy to The Substance.
Yeah, there is. I was about to rebut you, but you did it already for me.
Yeah, but I just talked myself out of it. Never mind. Just forget I said anything.
Is somebody gonna describe the movie?
It's all.
Somebody should say what this movie is.
Yeah, we're just so wrought with rage and frustration that we're just like, it's like you're trying to cuss someone out, but you're so angry that you can't even do it. Like you end up just like turning red in the face and giving yourself a fucking indigestion. But okay, so the movie,
I actually booed at the end of the movie. It was the first time I ever booed out loud.
Boo! Everyone turns around. They're just kind of like, "Oh, okay."
I turned around. I was like, "How dare you?"
Yeah. So the movie's about a Chinese American girl living in, I guess, a small town. The movie was shot in Atlanta, but I don't think that it's coded as Atlanta. I think it's just supposed to be like a small town, like, Ohio, like just some town in Ohio, Akron, Ohio, or something like that, let's say. But that's how it's supposed to feel, where it's, you're the only Chinese girl in school, that kind of thing. But anyhow, like this girl, she wants to be a prom queen, and she just is seduced and entranced by this sort of idea of like the blonde white prom queen at an early age, and then she kind of gets an opportunity later in life, that when she's a teenager, to undergo some sort of science fiction surgery to turn herself into a Caucasoid, and then next thing you know, she encounters problems. And that's essentially the film. If I've left anything out, please supplement my synopsis.
No, that's pretty much the basics.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So, I don't know. Where do we begin with this thing? Hold on. Let me ask a question. How was you guys saw it in the theater? I watched it I watched a rip online.
Mm-hmm.
But how was the experience of watching this in the theater? First of all, how many people were in the theater?
There weren't a lot of people.
I mean, there were people. It was, I don't know, almost half.
Damn.
Or close to half.
Man, cinema is alive and well.
Maybe a little less than that.
Alive and well in Los Angeles.
But I mean, there were people, and people seem to be enjoying it. And then, also looking on Reddit, or at least one of the Reddit threads, it seemed like most people seem to like it.
Those are all bots.
Really? I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I watched a couple of YouTube reviews, and I thought, I I watched on 1.5 speed a few YouTube reviews, and most of them were negative.
Okay, that's
My
relief.
Right.
Yeah.
Well,
I guess you could start at the beginning.
Okay, so
Maybe like I feel like, I guess to start on a positive, like I feel like there was a grain of something that resonated with me about the movie, or like the whole premise, which I like largely feel like is ridiculous. But the first sequence, when she was a little kid, I felt I could mostly relate to that, of like not being the only Asian, but like being in, a majority white environment. And I remember having a feeling, belief that the pretty blonde white girl was like the highest like standard of beauty. Like if you had asked me who's the prettiest girl in school, like I probably would have thought of a blonde white girl.
Mm-hmm.
But that was when I was very young.
So like what grade?
Middle school, like I don't know, maybe up to when I was around 12 or 13.
So
definitely
puberty.
pre-high school, definitely, yeah. So like, yeah, in a generic way, I can understand that sentiment. But yeah, after she, like once we go into high school, then it's just like, what are you even talking about? Like no one thinks like this in high school.
Yeah, that's when Seosie kind of came on the market there, and everybody was giving her a lot of attention.
Well, that's why I kind of feel like the premise of this, like I could see this being like one of the after school specials from like the 80s, like an hour-long story of like a little Asian boy in school, and he's the only Asian boy in the school or girl or whatever girl, and being like, oh, I wish I could fit in, and then having some sort of fairy come in and magically, you're a white person for a day, and then you realize like, oh, being white ain't what it's cracked up to be, and then you return back to normal at the end. I mean, it seems like that would be a interesting TV show for a child audience.
If you ever get the chance, try to find this old reality TV show called Black White, like black/white is how it's stylized. But it's about a family that, like a white family that undergoes prosthetic makeup to make themselves black, and then a black family that undergoes prosthetic makeup to make themselves white. And they have to, and there's like 8 episodes. It's one of the funniest things I've ever seen in my entire life. Like,
sounds good.
It's really funny. Like, especially just go on.
Oh, I was going to say that. Did you ever see that movie Soul Man with C. Thomas Howell?
It's pretty fucking funny. That Leslie Nielsen is in that, right?
I can't remember, but I saw it at the time, and I remember thinking it was very funny.
Mm.
But I think it's kind of, it's not looked highly upon anymore.
Yeah. It's generally looked at. Everyone just kind of has decided that it was a bad move for C. Thomas Howell. Like people on YouTube, it's like, like the top 5 movies that have destroyed an actor's career. Number 1 is Soul Man. But the thing is like there's a scene in that movie where Leslie Nielsen plays the father of like some, I forget what it is. I think it like because he ends up like
he's like dating he has an interest in like there's a whole like romance thing where
the romance is with Ray Dawn Chong. Tommy Chong's daughter, right?
Okay,
but like
that's ringing some bells.
But there's like a part where he's at like a white girl's house or something. Like I forget what the fucking context is, but Leslie Nielsen is the girl's father, and and that Leslie Nielsen's like he keeps imagining him as like a pimp, And so like
Yeah, I remember. That's the scene I remember the most.
it's so funny.
And that's kind of like right out of Annie Hall. It's like when Woody Allen is at the dinner table with Diane Keaton's family, and the family's imagining Woody Allen as like a Hasidic Jew.
Yeah. Fucking Rabbi Shuli. But anyways, fuck. Like okay, so I mean, okay, so I talked to like a friend of mine. Like I was hanging out with a friend of mine who's like kind of like this. I guess maybe he kind of had this experience. He's a guy, obviously, but he has a sister, and I mean, I guess I told him about this movie and I was explaining it to him, and I was sort of expecting him to be like laughing at, like, and then this girl goes to a thing and she turns Asian, isn't that funny? And then he's just kind of like, he's waiting for like the joke. And then I'm like, okay, well, hold on. Where did you grow up again? And he's like, oh, I grew up in like, Iowa or whatever. And I was like, were you the only Chinese kid in your class? And he was like, yeah. And I was like, were you bullied a lot? And he was like, yeah, I mean, I was bullied a lot, but like, it honestly didn't really bother me that much. And it was, and then like, fat kids got bullied and stuff like that. Everyone kind of got bullied. He didn't like,
sure.
He wasn't making like any kind of sort of immediate out of the barrel of a gun kind of apologist kind of statement or anything. And then I was like, but you have a sister too, right? And he was like, yeah. He's like, she got bullied too. So yeah, she took it. I think she took it more personally. Like she like would cry about it and stuff like that. And I was like, that's interesting. Also, this guy is, I'd say is functionally autistic. So like maybe he got bullied and he was just kind of like, interesting. He was
an autistic shield.
Yeah, exactly. Like Data from
it
Star
sounds
Trek.
like his response to you describing the movie was autistic.
Yeah.
He just had no emotional response at all.
Yeah, but I guess like the only reason I bring it up is because I was thinking like, maybe he might, or his sister might get something out of this. Maybe there are people out there who would think that this is like it's difficult for me to. I mean, as myself, I can only kind of make a certain kind of judgment, and the judgment that I make is mostly just about the problems that I have with the movie are mostly just about how lazy it is and also how cynical I think it is. I think it's cynically made.
Oh yeah.
And that's the big problem is as it doesn't feel like this is someone's real experience. It feels like this is someone's kind of like made up sort of experience and it's made to kind of
totally.
It's made up to kind of be like yeah, those fucking stupid idiots out there will probably like this, like she wouldn't say that ever, but like I think that's kind of like she's not making something that she would like. She's making something that she thinks that other people who are less intelligent than her would like,
Maybe, yeah. I mean, I saw a couple of interview clips with her, and I don't know. I feel like she maybe believes in it herself, but like in a diluted way, where, like how a lot of Asian people like were into the like Stop Asian Hate movement,
right?
That lasted for like 2 months during COVID. Because she does cite like when she's asked what inspired you to make this movie, she consistently brings up the 2021 Atlanta shootings, the spas that were actually like
Massage parlor.
Massage parlors that were also doing prostitution.
Oh,
and she, as a lot of people took it as a racist hate crime when there's no evidence that it was racially motivated, and actually the killer states his motivation, which was he's like a Christian and he had a sex addiction and he was going to these massage parlors for sex, and that contradiction made him like angry and like lash out at these prostitutes and like wanted to eliminate the source of his addiction and his struggles. So that, and then when he was like asked if it was racially motivated, he denied it. So I feel like that incident was not in any way an indication of like or racial hatred towards Asians in America, but like I feel like a lot of people just fucking ran with that narrative.
Yeah.
And this lady is one of those people, and she says, "Oh, that it was when that happened that's what inspired this movie, and it made me think back on when I was a kid and when I was feeling like an outsider and stuff like that."
Right. Yeah,
I feel like it's a major stretch.
Right. Yeah, they just couldn't get the fucking knot out of his shoulder, so he decided to shoot them all up. No, but that's how dare she?
And also, like two of the 10 people that were killed weren't even Asian. I could go off about like, the Stop Asian Hate thing and like, the incidents of like Asian beatdowns and kind of who's involved and who's Asian and who's white and who's not white and whatever. Yeah.
But I mean, it's totally. Why go down that road? We're better than that.
Let's not.
Yeah. Also, like, yeah, that, that's another thing too, is that I think this woman, this director, just doesn't really want to be punching down. So she kind of creates this, or maybe not creates, but latches on to this sort of idea that like, the enemies of Asian people are actually white people. That's the basis of this thing. And another thing too is that white people are like the Stepford Wives, like they're fake and they're performative and they're like robots and they like the girl who's like the popular girl who we find out later is Cuban, spoiler, is actually, which, I mean, isn't that white anyways? Aren't Cubans just kind of white?
Well, I was gonna say, like, to be a Cuban and to go through that surgery just to be white, like who is hating Cubans? Like, where's the anti-Cuban movement that's happening? Like are Cubans suffering in schools? Like, oh man, why do I have to be Cuban? I just get picked on all day.
Yeah. Hey, fuck you, Cube. That's a good slur that I just made. Cubert. That's a good one too.
Cubert.
But the whole thing of like the first time that she's introduced, she's like hi, like she's on their phone and she's like, "Hi everyone, I just fucking booked a role in a movie," and then she's like, "Hey, Mrs. Lambert, I raised $1,000 to stop global warming," and then they have this whole thing where she's like doing a thing where it's like feel the burn, and do you remember that where she's got like she's got like a sunburn with that written on it,
right.
And it's like but then like she turns off the camera and she's like, "I need you to care about this more." And then after like she does the video, she like takes the money away and it's like, oh, she's fake. She's totally fucking fake. And that's the.
Well, that's how Cubans behave.
She can't escape her Cuban instincts, her ingrained Cuban instincts, but
they're fucking assholes deep down.
No, come on. The Cuban people, are wonderful, hardworking people.
I'm just
learning from the movie.
I'm just echoing what the movie taught me.
Oh, that's true. Fuck, you got indoctrinated by
see,
by what's her name? By Amy Wong.
Is it Amy Wang?
Well,
Amy Wong,
hold on, let me look again. Oh yeah, Amy Wong. Well, it's like Wang in Chinese. You'd say Wong.
Oh, it's like the same. Wang and Wong are the same name in Chinese.
Yeah.
Right. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
But that's like in Korean too, like Pak and Park.
Right.
It's in Korean, it's the same.
Yeah. Like, it's like when people say Shanghai, they really should be saying Shanghai. Like, but whatever. Anyways, I mean, like, okay, so we go through the movie, the girl, it's okay. Let's just, fuck all the clumsy sort of political racial stuff. Like, let's talk about them because we're getting choked up and tripped up over it. So I think, so I think the best way for us to talk about it is to talk more about like the mechanics of the story. Like, so what they do, the first thing they do is they establish this song because later on the song is going to be the song, that Chinese song where she goes, "Well, I need," like the Chinese song.
Hilarious.
Right. they established that a couple times in the movie early on, so that later on when she's white, she can sing it to her parents as sort of the proof that she's really their Chinese daughter. So like they do that. There's other stuff too. There's other stuff like that. Oh, the other thing too is that because they can't get fucking whatever her name is, Mackenzie or whatever her fucking like McKenna Grace. Because they can't get her to memorize more than like 3 lines of Chinese. They established that the girl very rarely speaks Chinese. She only she listens in Chinese and she responds in English. They do that so that McKenna Grace can kind of like not have to learn a lot of Chinese.
You said something during the movie about like when the Chinese girl says to her mom,
"Yeah, speak English."
Speak English.
I just found that completely absurd. Like I feel like no Asian kid would say that to her parents. I mean, I don't know. Maybe I don't know about Chinese people, but as a Korean, that would never like. You'd be you're embarrassed to not be able to speak Korean. Like my Korean is pretty shitty, and I feel like embarrassed about it. Like the idea that a second gen kid would like tell their parents to speak English is completely absurd. Like it's so disrespectful. Like no parent would accept that. Like you would be fucking kicked out of your house. You would be like beat up.
Right. So I mean, point taken. I guess one could make the argument that like this is not a normal girl. This is a girl who's
psychopath.
No, like nothing about this movie is real. It's all like fucking made up.
Yeah,
like this whole universe is fake.
I know, and that's another thing too that is annoying is that I said this to you the last time I spoke to you. Like I believe that couching this movie within the context of like a genre film is an excuse so that you can kind of be lazy with shit like that. And you can have shit like the Stepford Wives salad shaking scene and just be like, it's a horror movie. Like there's sort of a fantasy kind of element here. It's an excuse like why you don't have to like, make a good movie and kind of like dot your I's and cross your T's and actually have something that makes like logical sense, like within the context of the movie you're making. Cause like you want to connect this to the real world. Cause the more that you connect it to the real world, the harder it's going to hit. The more that you make this into some fucking fake ass bullshit, the less it's going to do what I guess you want it to do, which is like, make
it's going to be less impactful.
Right.
Well, I feel like the fact that it's a horror movie and even the fact that it's a movie and like the story and everything about it is like an afterthought to like her single idea that she started out with was just like, how can I make a movie about this message that Asian people suffer racism in America?
No, it's
and so she's like starting out with a message rather than starting out with an idea for a movie, like a good idea.
Maybe it's like
idea.
Maybe it's just like, how can I make the substance but make it fucking about Asian stuff? Like how like the substance did. Oh, you know what? You're probably right. She probably had the message first, and then she was like, I know,
she did. She absolutely did.
I know. I'll just.
But to be fair, I did.
Yeah, sorry, you said that she
didn't know about. She
didn't know about the substance.
I think when she was making the movie, she saw the trailer for the substance. She was like, "Oh shit, they already kind of did this."
Yeah.
I wonder about that. I mean, it's so close to the substance. It's hard to imagine that it has nothing to do with
this. Is like that happens.
I guess.
Yeah. One of the cool things, one of the things I liked about the substance was how they treated like the people who make the substance. It's just like this, you don't ever see them. It's all just over the phone or like through the mail. And it's like this weird convoluted, like you have to go to this like, what do you call that? Like a PO box and pick up the shit and whatever. Like that's a great way. Cause, and this movie decides to take a different approach and characterize like the people who work there. Dr. White guy, who's like another fake ass fucking robot white person who's actually, Pakistani or something. Like, I don't know. I don't know what his whole thing is, but yeah, like that's another sort of element. It reminds me of like, You ever see Body Melt, Johnny?
Body Melt?
Yeah, it's an Australian film. It's like,
I think so.
It's sort of like the Australian kind of street trash, but it's about like a health spa that it's the same thing, like sort of this like cultish sort of situation where they give you like a kind of a drug that's supposed to make you like fit, but that makes your body melt, as in the title Body Melt. But anyhow,
Got it.
I'm sorry. I just assumed that you hadn't seen it, Susie. I didn't mean to.
You assumed correctly.
Yeah. Sorry about that.
No, I don't sit around watching movies all day like you guys.
Yeah, that's all I do. Yeah, you're out there living your life. You're out there, stopping Asian hate and fucking.
Yeah, she's at the No Kings March.
Yeah. Organized by fucking Washington-based fucking Zionists. Just joking. Anyways, let's move forward. Let's move forward with the part where she turns into McKenna Grace, and she's this beautiful blonde-haired.
Well, I do want to say that I mean, before we get to that point, so when we see her at the beginning of the movie, she's just a child, and she experiences the being alienated from she's in a white school, and people are like vomiting when she opens up her
chicken and beef or rice and beef.
Yeah, her Chinese food lunch, so disgusting.
Chinese food.
And so then we jump to she's now in high school, and I don't remember the name of the actress who's playing
Shirley
Chen. So now she's an adult or she's a teenager, and she looks good, other than the fact that like she's kind of trying hard to dress down and wear like sweatsuits or sweatshirts, and she's trying really hard to look slightly dumpy. She's still attractive. So we're building.
The movie's trying to make her look
right.
dumpy.
So we're building this foundation on this girl who has very low self-esteem, and she wants to be a prom queen. She's idolized. She's got all these pictures on her magazine pictures on her wall of all these beautiful white women.
Ava Braun.
Yeah, she's got all these pictures of Ava Braun on her wall. But then like she makes zero. I mean, she puts on a little makeup, I guess, but she puts zero effort into any other glamorizing of herself in order to like.
She puts a clothespin on her nose to make her nose less broad.
Right.
Well, it's like she's living in a world where there are no ideals of Asian beauty that she can aspire to. There's no K-pop. There's no Michelle Yeoh. There's no glamorous Asian women. She's obsessed with white women, but then she still makes almost no effort to try to glam herself up in any way to try to get that jock that she seems to be enamored with.
Yeah, she dreams about his hairless penis.
And then that was weird.
And then later on, she's like, Josh wants to fuck me. She says that. And it's just like, what the fuck? This girl's fucking horny as fuck. Like she goes like, Josh wants to fuck me in my fucking cunt. Like, well, she doesn't say cunt, but I'm just like, it was a little bit jarring because like
It was. I remember that.
She's
supposed to be like innocent.
Yeah, where'd the potty mouth come from? And like just like the ravenous sexual appetite. But yeah.
But she doesn't even like. There's no attempt to slut herself up.
She doesn't act like somebody who is horny or like she. Yeah,
she doesn't carry herself like somebody who is horny. She makes. I mean, other than putting a little makeup on her face and then dyeing her hair the horrendous blonde color, there doesn't seem to be any. Like it just. She goes from like, okay, I tried nothing, and now I'm all out of ideas, so I'm going to get this. I'm going to get this insane surgical procedure done.
Did you ever see?
It was far fetched.
No, hold on. The question actually was, Susie, did you ever dye your hair blonde?
You know what? I did bleach my hair at one point. It wasn't blonde, but it was like orangish.
Mm-hmm.
And it has nothing to do with wanting to look white. That's just teenagers want to like bleach their hair and dye their hair. I colored it after too. Like I colored it like purple and shit.
Right. I saw like
inspired by my aunt. Actually, my aunt had dyed her hair kind of rainbow, and I was like, I want to do that too.
How old are you?
High school, like probably grade 9 or 10.
Yeah, I saw a girl on Instagram, a Korean girl actually, talk about how like she doesn't like when like I think she's responding to a video of like some white guy getting aggressive about some Asian girl who's putting contact lenses in to make her eyes like blue, and it's like, why are you doing that? Do you hate the color of your eyes or whatever? And it's like why are you trying to like make yourself white or whatever? And it's like, and she said something that I was like, oh, this is cool. Like that's interesting. Is that like for Korean people, because she's not a Korean American, she's like a Korean living in Korea. She's like every Korean person has the same color eyes. So like for us to change the color of our eyes is like it really becomes more of like a fashion thing. Like we're just like it's just doing something like
to stand out.
Yeah, it's doing something to be different. Like because you're sort of standardizing kind of like eye color and I guess hair color, like to such a degree, there's less of a variety. Like to make changes really puts it into the category of like fashion more than it would whereas like if you bring it to like America or North America, let's say, it all of a sudden it gets coded in like identity, like, oh, it's actually about race and you not accepting yourself or whatever.
You're dyeing your hair blue because you want to be Nightcrawler.
Yeah. That's what my parents said. But anyhow, okay. So, and then, she's got an Indian friend. She's got her best friend is Indian. The two non-whites have unified in the cafeteria, and they both, the Indian girl is very comfortable not being white. She's like, the skin don't burn, and also she has a black friend too that shows up later just to get kicked out of the party.
So random.
She just shows up to make. She just shows up to make the point, like a racist point at the party about how horribly racist white people are.
Yeah, exactly. You're not allowed at the party. We don't let blacks in here. McKenna Grace, kick her out for us. That it's so funny too. It's like, of course, like all the it's all white people, and then it's like the gang, the sort of the assemblage of non-whites stick together. They're obviously they're gonna be the ones who stick together as a counterpoint to the white is also oppressive like majority.
That's always sort of like a false liberal fantasy of like, oh, we're all minorities, so we should all stick together, and I don't think that exists in the real world. Like
there's so much racism in other countries and other cultures, and like within Asian cultures, racism against Black people. It's not like, it's not just like, it's not as simple as like white versus everyone else.
I remember the nerds, like the sort of the nerdy kids in my high school. It was Indian and Asian kids and a couple white kids, but no Black kids. The Black kids they had their own kind of group, and they were mostly but they were mixed in with like the athletic people. But there were definitely, I totally buy like Asian and Indian people are gravitating towards each other in high school. But that's just my own personal experience.
I just don't think that is something that is like cut and dry, like the way that it's always portrayed in films is like minorities stick together and white people, like, in Revenge of the Nerds, like, all the nerds. There's the black nerd. There's the the white nerd. There's the gay nerd.
There's the child. The child
there's
nerd.
The child nerd. There's the disgusting nerd, and we're all just gonna like group together and fight against the white oppression.
Is the disgusting nerd Booger?
Yeah,
he's not even a nerd. He's like cool. like the only thing that he does that's weird is he picks his nose. But like other than that.
He's able to like belch really loud too. Remember? That's
true. Yeah, but those are all like cool, like frat kind of things. So not the picking the nose, but like belching really loud. Anywho, fuck. What was I gonna? I had something I was gonna say about. Regarding
McKenna Grace.
Not McKenna Grace. It was something about like some memory from high school that I lost it because we started talking about Revenge of the Nerds.
Indians and whites.
No, not Indian whites, but Indians and...
You were molested?
Yeah, I was molested by my drama teacher.
By the Pakistani janitor?
Yeah, totally.
Pakistani rape gang.
That's another, yeah, right, the ones... Did you ever see that documentary about the Pakistani, like, cab drivers, and, like, kebab shop owners that, like, ran, like, a fucking, a human trafficking ring? Of like,
is that new?
No, it's like old. It's not a documentary. It's like a docudrama. It's like they have like people. It's like acting and stuff. It's really funny. I'll share it with you. You should watch it. It's very engrossing. But fuck.
It's gross and engrossing.
I lost it again. About so hold on. Getting molested, Pakistani. No, I don't have
school.
It. Yeah, no, it's over. Forget it. I'll cut this part out. Anyways, so as we move forward in the movie, she finally goes and gets the surgery, and then she. Oh, sorry, okay, I got it. I remember. It wasn't about a high school memory. It was about the father. The father is a cleaner. He's like a janitor. Mm-hmm. And I thought that was also very weird too. Like that's the thing is this whole movie I felt that too. This whole movie feels like this is from the 70s where she doesn't have any, like K-pop doesn't exist. There's no, like everyone thinks that
anime doesn't exist.
Yeah. Like
Lou doesn't exist.
Yeah. Asian people are not represented at all in the media. There's no such thing as Asian beauty. There's no
Chinese, there's no Panda Express.
There's no like white guys in school that are obsessive about Asian porn, exclusively. And also, like the only jobs available for Asian people, for Asian like adults, like the parents of these kids in high school are like lowly cleaning jobs, like cleaning the white lady's house or, refilling her fish tank or whatever. And I just thought that was bizarre because I'm just like, this guy, Chinese people that like come to America usually have a better plan than just like cleaning some lady's house. Usually like there's, usually they're engineers, like usually there's some kind of like specialized thing, like just kind of doing like dusting, like on his hands and knees, scrubbing a floor with a fucking towel is like, that doesn't.
Yeah, not a lot of male Chinese janitors out there.
I mean, he was a janitor in the high school when she was little, but then he graduated to cleaning.
He graduated to doing personal, to cleaning mansions.
Yeah.
Right. Like, did they not have any plan?
Yeah, exactly. It doesn't, that just, like, you could make an argument that, okay, well, that's just their life, but like, it's so glaring that it's hard to accept. It's like,
it's just so desperate to make Asians look like oppressed.
I actually remember the scene where she has to take over for cleaning the mansion because her dad gets injured. And so she's like cleaning vomit out of a bathtub and she's like scrubbing like big, thick, dried vomit. Or like it's very sticky vomit out of the tub, and I'm just kind of like, why doesn't she just like rinse it? It's in the tub; she can just rinse it.
Yeah, the water's right there. Yeah, the water's right there.
She's not cleaning vomit right.
Exactly. This movie's so fucking fake. She doesn't even know how to clean up vomit properly.
Like it's not like she's cleaning vomit out of like a carpet. She's just cleaning it out of like a bathtub.
Yeah. It's not even that bad. Like they're in the movie, they're making it seem like such a big fucking deal, but it's a bathtub, like you say, it's not like a carpet.
Just take the shower head and rinse the fucking vomit down the drain.
Yeah, I do it all the time.
No shit.
Okay, so all right, so
that's white people know how to do it,
right? Fuck, I keep having a thought and then losing it. We're talking about vomit. Okay, so so she's McKenna Grace now, and she goes back to her house, and the dad is like, "You're not my daughter anymore. Get out of my house. You got the wrong house." And then she sings the song, and then we're all just like, "Oh God!" Like we saw the clip of that. We're like, "I gotta see this fucking movie. I gotta see this." And then next thing you know, fucking she's the hot popular girl at school, and everybody likes her, and she's like, "Hey, have you heard the new Black Bear album? It's fire." And then the other girl's like, "Super fire." And I was just like, this is fucking awful. This is insufferable.
No, it's awful.
Yeah. And then and I looked up who Black Bear was, and he's like a white rapper, and I was like,
oh seriously?
Yeah. That's why. Like, I mean,
I didn't know there's a real thing.
Yeah.
They're going to go and they're going to change like Carl's Jr. to Stripes Jr., but they're going to keep Black Bear the same.
Oh, before I forget too, another joke is, did you notice the school mascot logo?
Mm-mm.
It's a white wizard. So
like a grand wizard,
like Merlin, like it looks like Merlin with the beard and the mustache and the hair, but then it has the pointy wizard cap and the white robe, but he's all white.
See what they did there?
What?
So it's sort of like, oh, we got you. I know what to do. We'll make the mascot of this white school the white wizard, and that'll be a funny joke.
Did you notice the line, Seosie, where she goes, when I walk into a store, people look at me, like where she says that? Did you notice that?
I think so, yeah.
There's a part where she's like, you don't know what it's like, so like to walk into the store and everyone looks at you, and it's like, who's like looking, who's like startled or like the shop owner, like, zeroing in on a teenage Asian girl walking to a store, like as if she's going to fucking shoplift or do anything weird at all. Like anything kind of like not like non, for lack of a better word, like non-civilized, like she's going to go into a shop and behave herself, probably fucking buy something.
This is some kind of jealousy by a certain part of the Asian community. Like they saw all the attention that Black people were getting from Black Lives Matter, like, alerting all the oppression and the racism. And then they were kind of like, oh, we want to get in on this too, because they literally were saying the same things. Like we're being repressed and we're having the same experience, but they're not having the same experience.
And I feel like it's a very small portion of Asian people who are actually like into that. But yes, I do think that there's some truth in that.
I think that go on, Susie.
That's why they all assumed that that shooting was racially motivated. Like they were just like, finally we have like concrete evidence. Like we can point to this event and say, see, people were killed.
Yeah, well, like in the
now it's our time to shine.
In the to make sort of like a far-reaching kind of analogy, like
a fart.
To be so like you have like something like Ozempic, which is just sort of like a cheat code, like, oh, I can just get thin if I take this drug, like in a like to sort of cheat codes in life. There are certain people who are just going to jump on those things. If I can afford that, and if it works, then why not? In the same way, like there's sort of this idea of like with Stop Asian Hate and sort of the things in its orbit, where it's like, let's reframe kind of the like different races into just like white and non-white, like people of color, white and people of color. Mm-hmm. And that way Asian people can still remain, high earning households and thought of as like, you know, contributing members of society and everything. But also, they can also be oppressed. Also, they can be people of color and they can be oppressed. So it's an advantage. It's a way to kind of, get a leg up. And I mean, if I were Asian, I could see the appeal of that. I could be like, yeah, I could, if I wanted to complain about some shit, I'd have a reason that I could complain about.
Well, especially if suddenly there is a culture that puts victimhood as sort of a,
they reward it.
Yeah, it's sort of like, okay, if I claim victimhood, then I can get rewarded for that, or I can be put on a pedestal and treated like a special person because I'm a victim. Well, yeah, why wouldn't you want that?
Sure. Well, I mean, but
I can see how that would be appealing to people who are really boring and have like
no integrity,
nothing else going on in their lives,
right? Or just I mean, you guys live in LA, just people who are just striving to like tooth and nail, just doing anything possible to get an advantage over the next person who wants who wants exactly the same thing that they want, Okay, so my favorite sort of thing about this movie in terms of like shitty, lazy storytelling is how her face starts to fall apart for no other reason than, well, if she just remains white and beautiful, then she's going to be like,
she doesn't have a problem. That's what she wants.
Yeah, exactly. There's no problem. So they just have her face start falling apart, and there's no reason given at all. Like there's a throwaway.
Well, there's a couple. Yeah, there's, like you were going to say, like there's a couple of there's an attempts to address it. When one is from the Cuban girl saying like, "Oh, it's just your face adjusting." And then there's like the receptionist at the doctor's office says something like, "Oh, just put a little tape on it and it'll be fine." But she's the only person who is getting who's had the procedure that this is happening to in that extreme way.
Right.
Like you said, there's no reason for it. It's just like, okay, this is what we're going to do. And because of that, I feel the story's changing because it's not about like she's finding that being a white person is, it's not all it's cracked up to be. She's a deformed white person now. She's a hideous monster.
She's a deformed person. Forget about white or whatever.
Yeah.
She's a monster.
She's deformed. So now the like, at least in the substance, there were rules. Like, follow these rules and you'll be fine. And she breaks the rules and it fucks everything up. Here we don't have rules. It just is happening, and there's no reason to it. It's just okay, we'll just have her face start to fall off and her dreams start to dissipate.
How would you?
But she's not getting the full. Because of that, she's not getting the full white experience. If she remained beautiful, she probably would have had no problem and had a great life.
Yeah, like so here's what you do. Like let's sort of do a little bit of a thought experiment here on like how we would sort of repair this, or how you could make this movie and actually make it not be retarded. Like I think that like kind of the
impossible.
Say what?
It's impossible.
Well, I mean, one of the things that you were saying the other day is like if this movie was made with kids who were like 11, that would have helped.
I just don't buy into the basic premise that this high school age attractive Asian girl would like make such a stupid decision.
Well, but what I'm saying is, okay, let's take all that as, okay, that I feel it's egregious and insulting that they would do it like that, but at the same time, okay, fine. This is what the movie's about. Fine. I'm talking more just about like a story kind of working like on its own terms. Yeah. Cat's rubbing its fucking asshole on the computer. 1 second. And
let's hear my voice.
Yeah. And then but then like the whole thing, the thing of her her face falling apart. That just happens just so that the movie can be about, just so that she can regret it, you know? Just
exactly.
like otherwise she wouldn't regret anything. So exactly. I think what needs to happen, like what the other way to make the movie would be like have everyone kind of in her, like, you know, like her parents and her friends and everything, they all suffer. They all suffer horribly. And she has to deal, like, she's fine, but she just watches like everyone in her, let's say, old life, suffer horrifically. And that's the price, you know? But then all of a sudden it's not a body horror movie anymore. All of a sudden you can't fucking sell it anymore. As essentially a fucking Substance ripoff, which, you know, sure, she didn't write it this way, but that's that's obviously how it's been marketed, like even the poster and everything else. But that, you know, that's kind of like how you would have to go with it, I think. Is there any other way that you could kind of make it work? Well, like, how does this movie resolve?
I mean, if it was like if it had like a Cinderella type plot, but again, it wouldn't be a horror movie. It would be like, oh, you know, the fairy's going to come and make you a beautiful white person for the night, and you get to experience being a beautiful white person, and then, you know,
we're just doing audio right now. Like I just can't. I don't have the time availability to do video anymore. But I just want everyone to know out there that Susie's rolling her eyes like fucking crazy.
No, I'm not.
Yeah,
I'm not.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe, like I said, some kind of like Cinderella story or something. Like make it like that, or like a Fantasy Island type story where it's, you know, somebody comes to Fantasy Island and Mr. Rourke grants the wish, and then she has her experience and it just doesn't go the way she wants it. And then at the end of the show, she's like, you know what? I just want to go back to my, you know, I learned an important lesson to be yourself, and I'm just going to go back to my normal life again.
Maybe.
Well, I think like we haven't talked about like the biggest problem, I think, with the movie is that it's really about a high school girl wanting to be hot, and it's like it's trying to like it's what am I trying to say?
Well, I mean, it's sort of it does get a little muddy in that, like, it's about looking attractive. Like, it's not just sort of like, I want to be white. I just want to be a normal white girl and fit in. I want to be the most beautiful white girl in the school. And also we're not coming from a place where she's sort of like a homely Chinese girl. She's a very attractive Chinese girl. So those elements, I feel like, throw a wrench in the director's thesis.
But hold on a second. What are you trying to? Have you kind of gotten your thought together, Susie? Like I get what you're saying, but like I feel like you're going somewhere with that. What's the real problem? Like for me, the real problem is like the cynicism and just how like I said right from the beginning, like all this feels like just a fantasy, like a fantasy fucking problem that's not real, and it's all the entire thesis of the movie is just kind of like based on something that is not maybe there's like a kernel of truth in there somewhere, but it feels like you know, like cynically assembled, where it's just like I said it better the first time I said it. I'm just kind of repeating myself anyhow.
Well, I feel like it can't decide whether it's about this girl who wants to be white or a girl who wants to be attractive. And they're kind of conflating those two ideas. And I think in reality, the issue that teenage girls are concerned with is about wanting to be attractive. So I feel like when you mentioned your friend and his sister, I had a question in my head. Well, was the sister an attractive Asian person or not? Because I feel like if you're somebody who looks like Shirley Chen, it makes absolutely no sense what she's doing, because she's an attractive person. Anybody of any race can be an attractive, hot person. And if you have that template, you're not gonna like. Why would you want to look white? Like I can understand if you're like a non-white person and you're unattractive, it's gonna hit you harder if you're like made fun of because you look different. What whether it's the people are making fun of you for being Asian or because you're ugly or whatever it is. It's I feel like what actually bothers people is they're not being accepted because they're not hot.
Right.
I didn't really land that.
I've never seen The Sister, but this is what the guy looks like. He's very hot.
Who's that?
That's my friend, the guy who said he got bullied in high school. So so I mean, if it runs in the family, maybe she's also a muscular fucking stud.
Maybe, who knows?
Right. So okay.
Yeah, I mean.
Yeah. Okay.
I guess I'm. Yeah. Never mind.
No. I got it. Like the.
Well, like the other movie that you mentioned that you said the director was actually influenced by, that Grafted movie.
No, she wasn't influenced by that. There was a different movie.
Oh.
But people were referencing in other reviews that I watched. People were saying that there's this movie Grafted, which I actually did watch.
Oh, really?
Yes, and it was good. I liked it a lot. It was very fun.
But it seemed like just based on the trailer, it looked like that was more about.
It wasn't about race. It wasn't about wanting to be white. Although the Chinese immigrant high school girl in that movie also turns into a white person at one point, but it's not about wanting to be white. There's a lot more depth to her character, and it's more about like she has this hideous birthmark on her face that looks like an open wound, and her scientist father also had it, and he like died in the middle of like trying to work out this like radical grafting technique that was gonna heal both of them. And then it's about like her mission is to like pick up where he left off, and then that mission kind of intersects with her like wanting to fit in at school, and then like someone gets killed accidentally, and then she uses that situation to her advantage, and then she kind of like things get out of control and she gets more and more unhinged and yeah.
Is it like a
it was very fun.
Is it like a body horror movie, like where she's
Yes. Oh, okay. And it was a legitimate horror movie.
Yeah. It's not
unlike Slanted.
Yeah.
It was fun. I mean, granted, I feel like my experience of watching it was probably colored by comparing it with Slanted, which like that movie kind of set the bar at the floor. So I was like, wow, a movie with like original ideas and like it's fun. Like, wow, what a treat.
Mm-hmm. It just seems like it's very difficult to carry this idea of an adult Asian woman who's attractive wanting to change her race for no other reason than like when she was a child she just became obsessed with being a prom queen. It's a very convoluted concept that it's like she's kind of she's not committing to a single idea.
You know what else? I just had an idea. Maybe like one of the problems with this movie is that she's supposed to be like normal and relatable and a sympathetic character above all. If you had her, like, do you remember that movie, that short film that we watched, the one where that black kid sees is jerking off to a picture of his father, and then he goes and he rapes his father. The something about the Johnsons. I watched it when I was there, when I was actually in that room.
Yeah, I liked it.
What if it was more like that, and like that experience of seeing the white prom queens like affected her in some kind of like deep, like really damaging way, which I think that maybe Amy Wong kind of maybe like maybe that's kind of how she's thinking about this. Like, it's childhood trauma kind of manifests itself in this desire later on in her life. But she just comes off as like a very normal, well-adjusted kid, other than she has pictures of fucking, Pamela Anderson in her bedroom taped up, But what if she was like a less sympathetic character, and she was like weird and psychotic and constant, like, like the clothespin on the nose was just the beginning, and she was doing weird shit, like maybe she was recommended for the surgery after she tried to like cut off her fucking epicural folds or something with a fucking X-Acto knife. Like she's more psychologically damaged than she is in the movie. Like if she's weirder and more.
That became an issue for me because, I said it earlier, where like she barely tries anything to become this sort of prom queen, hot girl ideal, other than like she'll put on a little makeup, then she dyes her hair blonde, and then she's like, all right, I'm out of ideas. I don't know what else to do to make myself look pretty. I'm not going to go and buy some nice clothes or, just try traditional ways to make myself look attractive. I'm just going to, go for this drastic surgery.
She would have to be like an unattractive Asian girl.
Well, that's something else that I was thinking of, like, in what you're saying, where like, what if she was crazy? Well, what if she was like ugly, but then the movie becomes about being ugly and being beautiful, as opposed to being Asian and being, because her the director's thesis has to be about being Asian. It doesn't matter if you're an ugly Asian or you're a hot Asian. All Asians are unwelcome. No one is attracted to them. No one likes them. Nobody wants anything to do with them. And white people just all stick together, and they eat their white food and their white mashed potatoes, and they drink their milk in their white house.
Here's how it will work. She's an unattractive Asian girl. She really wants to be accepted and fit in and wants to be prom queen, and she tries everything to look hot, but nothing works. So she resorts to this procedure that turns her white, but then it turns her into like, she just, like, it doesn't make her hot, he just makes her white. And then she realizes that it's not about being Asian, it's just about being ugly.
Yeah, that would work.
Problem.
That's funny.
The end.
Or if you take like, if you started off like, if it's like Precious, but then your favorite movie, and then it becomes, but it's Precious meets the Substance, and then she just becomes a fat white lady.
Roseanne
and then
Barr.
Black guys are interested in her.
Hey, I like Precious, man. Precious is a good movie. It's powerful. Anyway,
I haven't seen it.
Yeah.
No, oops, sorry.
Johnny's gay.
God, I can't hear what he's saying to me.
Johnny's a gay man. Keep that between us, Susie. I was gonna say that. I guess we've to the listeners out there. The listener, the one guy out there. Sorry for talking in circles like crazy about this movie, and kind of like, not really, like, kind of just sort of, like vultures flying around the carcass of this fucking film. We are trying to figure out like kind of how to come at it, and essentially just like fill time with talking about the movie. I'm not sure that we came to any kind of real conclusions about this. I guess, hold on, but we have to rate the movie, right? We have to like,
well, also, I also want to say one more thing about the, when we were earlier, we were talking about her face starts melting, and then like she goes back to the doctor and with her parents, and she's kind of like, you got to reverse it. You can't reverse it. There's nothing you can do. You're stuck like this for the rest of your life. And then the movie ends with her, like, her face is just completely like melting at this point. She looks like a horrendous monster. But then she starts like ripping it off, and her Asian eye is poking through the monster skin. So then we're led to believe that, well, this is just some kind of white shell that she's wearing, that like she's actually underneath it. It's like it's just some kind of like body mask that she can rip off, or like it's not clear.
Yeah, I mean,
facial transplant.
At that point, I think they're just going for like just some sort of visually iconic ending. I don't think even the filmmakers care about the logic of the film anymore. They just want to have that scene where she covers up one eye and the Asian eye's there and she smiles. Cut to black. Brilliant. The theater is just going to explode in laughter, or in not in laughter, but
laughter,
in standing
in rage,
standing ovation. But yeah, as far as as far as the.
And as soon as the lights came up, all these Asian people started beating the shit out of me. It was awful.
Yeah, they started karate chopping you. All right, so let's wrap it up. What did you give the Slanted in terms of eggplant rating review?
Is 0 the lowest or 1?
No, 0 is the lowest.
Well, I mean, 0's or -1 is.
I guess a 1, just because it had a basic watchability. Like, I've seen movies that I just could not even get through at all.
You can give a half if you want.
Yeah, maybe a half.
Okay.
Yeah.
How about you, Johnny?
I give it a 1.
Really, a 1?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You think that's generous?
I think it's I give it a 0 myself. I give it the lowest.
Oh damn.
And that's because like I say, I don't believe again, I'll say it for the third time, I don't believe that the director of this film actually believes in what she's saying. I think that she's
No, I don't think so.
And that's so ugly and awful to me. That you don't even believe in the thing that you made. I mean, I'm making a movie right now.
I think she believes in it on a political level.
Right.
Like, this is just part of her politics.
Right.
She wants to promote this message.
Right. Right.
I just think years from now, if you wanted to have a race bait movie festival, this could be part of it.
What's a movie that we should talk about? Menace to Society.
Okay.
When's the last time you saw Menace to Society?
It's been a while.
That movie is actually shocking insofar as how evil the characters are. I was saying this.
I remember thinking that. Oh, go ahead.
I was saying this I just now recalled saying this to Seosie, saying oh yeah, Johnny likes movies about people who are awful people. Like the main characters are awful people.
I said that.
You did say that, right? And that's what this movie is. It's you're introduced to these two guys, and they're just awful, and they're cruel and shitty and stupid and all the awful, deplorable things that you could think of. And then it's like, oh, these are our guys. These are our main characters. We're spending the whole movie with these guys. And then you're kind of like, wow, that's if you're the kind of person who kind of judges a movie on sort of a basis of I don't know, I hear people say the term morally bankrupt sometimes when they talk about movies. If you're the kind of person who uses that kind of terminology, this is totally a morally bankrupt film, but it's also really styly and also really angry and energetic, in its anger, electric in its anger, and I like it because of that. But I don't know, then I look up online to see sort of what people think about this movie, and it's very rated very, very high. It's rated as a really, really high film, in terms of just audience and critics and stuff like that. Although it did come out and for the critic thing, I think because it came out so soon after the LA riots.
Well, I mean, that was all during there was a wave of South Central films, started by Boys in the Hood, of course.
But Boys in the Hood is good. Do you not like?
Well, I mean, I'm not saying no. Boys in the Hood is good, but Menace to Society felt I liked it more because it was a darker. I mean, if you can even say that, but it's a darker version of Boys in the Hood. Yeah, it's at least with Boys in the Hood, you have the Cuba Gooba Juba character. He's sort of the moral center. Or at least, his father's the moral center of the of the movie. And Menace to Society doesn't have that.
It does. The grandfather is the Lawrence Fishburne character, but he's entirely ineffectual and laughable and silly and he's abused by the main characters. Like it's almost like it is actually almost a reaction to Boys in the Hood in a sense. The brothers who made that film,
Hughes brothers. Yeah,
they're half Armenian, half black, from probably Glendale because they're Armenian.
If they're black, they're not from Glendale.
Okay, that's true.
There's no blacks in Glendale.
Nope. No blacks allowed. Just System of a Down. The band.
I mean, if they're making that movie about about South Central, they're probably from South Central, right?
Nah, I don't know about that. It's not.
They're carpetbaggers.
Yeah, not necessarily, but that's actually kind of to continue on our like white hot racial discussions. We should do after following the review of Slanted, we should go do one about Boys in the Hood versus Menace to Society. That's actually an interesting comparison. I'm just doing this right.
Did you ever see Dead Presidents too? That was their follow-up.
I did, yeah. I like that less.
I like it less. It's still all right. It's a little too close to Deer Hunter.
Yeah, huh?
Like it's a black deer hunter, but it's all right.
Right.
But then From Hell was not good at all.
Right. That's funny that they got. You know what's funny? Okay, I'm sorry. We're just going off on tangents here. Did you ever see that movie called Monster with Charlize Theron?
Charlize Theron?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's a great movie.
I love that movie. I watched it. It's on YouTube. You ever see that, Seosie?
Like really long time ago, so I would have to see it again.
Yeah. So that's her first movie. Fucking, I think her name is Patty Jenkins is the name of the director, and that movie's fucking fantastic. It was on YouTube, so I was just like, I typed in like monster movie, full movie to put on just as I did something else, and then instead of a monster movie, instead of like a fucking Godzilla movie, fucking Monster comes on. I'm like, all right, that's
Monsters Inc.
It's not bad. So I put it on, and I ended up not doing the thing I wanted to do. I ended up just sitting and watching the movie like with full focus, and I was like, damn, this is good. And then she just gets kind of snatched up in the same way that the Hughes brothers got snatched up to do From Hell. She just got snatched up, and the next movies that she did was the Wonder Woman movies with fucking what's her name? Gal Gadot. And I just thought to myself, like, damn, what a shame that she never got to make like another film that she, actually got to put some of her own.
She got sucked into the Marvel toilet. Well, DC, I guess.
Yeah, it's DC. Yeah, she got sucked into that fucking toilet, and then she did the fucking Wonder Woman, the sequel to Wonder Woman. That's a fucking just this disaster, and then all of a sudden she's just the woman who directed that fucking disaster, And no one's really going to remember her for Monster. They're just going to remember her for the Wonder Woman movies. So
it's too bad.
Well, whatever, I mean, I'm sure she's wealthy. She can do whatever she wants. Pop out a few kids. Forget about the fucking the creative game. Anyway.
Hey, most people don't come up with a single good movie, so she's already ahead.
Yeah, that's true. It's funny how how like ravenous the audience is and how unforgiving they are. What you done for me lately is the refrain. Yeah, you made that one good movie. You ever see that movie Life? Sorry to keep going with this fucking thing. You ever see that movie Life with Ryan Gosling and Jake Gyllenhaal? It's about this alien on a spaceship.
No way.
It's kind of good, man. Like it's a very creepy alien. It's like a little tiny alien that fucking is really. The point is that he made this movie, and then on the strength of that movie, he gets the job to direct fucking more.
Oh no, wait, maybe I did see it. It sounds familiar now.
Yeah, but it's called. He did this movie called Morbius, like that fucking Marvel vampire movie.
Oh, I remember when that came out.
Yeah, with Jared Leto, and it's like
that seemed like it was a big bomb.
Yeah, and I
used to like that comic as a kid.
Yeah, and now he's just the guy who directed Morbius. Like he's not That's it. That's his legacy. I don't know if he'll ever, like, because he's a joke now. And that movie, it's forget about it being a bomb. It was like a public dragging of like through that of that movie through the streets, like a tarring and feathering. So I mean, it's just got such a bad reputation. It just from a director of Morbius comes fucking the new movie. It's like, oh shit.
I think people just see the big bucks and they're just like, fuck it, my ship has come in.
Yeah,
and plus, like, most of the time you do a Marvel or a DC movie and it's just like nothing but success, stairway to success. It just seemed like, I guess, lately doing those films, they're not as easily accepted as they once were.
Nobody cares anymore because it doesn't connect to reality anymore. There used to be this sort of I don't know if I've ever said this to you before, but like the first like Marvel movies that came out reminded me of Star Trek: The Next Generation. Like this sort of like optimistic vision of the future where like technology solves all our problems, and it seems like kind of possible, but it probably in 100 years or something. But like today, like it doesn't. It feels like, the technology is not really on our side and everything's fucked up. And all of a sudden this sort of optimism for the future is not really present anymore. And all of a sudden you still, fucking, make movies with this kind of idea, this kind of like core sort of belief, framework behind it. And it's just like, it just doesn't seem realistic. No one has their heart in it anymore. It just seems gay and stupid and lame and cynical. Anyway.
But there's also this idea that with constant superhero movies, and like, okay, you're watching Spider-Man, you're watching the 19th Spider-Man movie. He's not going to die. Even if he dies, he's not going to die. They're already working on the next one, and so there's no consequences to anything. And then also including all these stories that now have been including, like there's a multiverse, and there's a Spider-Man in this universe, and there's a Spider-Man in a million other universes, and we're just gonna like, and it just becomes like, well, then absolutely nothing matters anymore. Like nothing matters here, nothing matters in the other million different multiverses. So who cares about anything? It's very nihilistic.
Sorry, Susie, I see you there kind of being bored by us fucking
nerding out on
old
Marvel movies.
Old sad nerds.
I hope you didn't feel oppressed by our white opinions.
What? I was impressed.
I said I hope you weren't oppressed by our white opinions.
Yeah. Talking over me like white.
Mansplaining the Slanted movie to you.
Did you feel talked over a lot?
Rob Manspread.
No, I'm kidding.
Okay. I was consciously trying to make sure that you didn't get talked over by me anyhow.
I like when Johnny interrupted you and said, what you were going to say is. Do you remember that part?
I don't actually.
I was like, I'm gonna use that.
All right. On that note, I'm stopping the recording. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.